everybody. I really want you to love this guy big. He's a marvelous actor as well as a wonderful comic. Give it up for Richard Bischoff.
Hey guys, how are you? Hello. My name is Rich now. As a boomer with gray hair, I like to start my comedy by untucking my shirt because I get nervous and I might pee a little bit. So bear with me. I have some new stuff, so I wanted to write some stuff down. I have about 7-ish minutes to encapsulate pretty much a lifetime of self-loathing. And for the record, 7 minutes, that's 6 minutes, 58 seconds longer than it took me to get my wife pregnant. Almost 19 years ago. We had our 19th wedding anniversary in January. I don't know why you're clapping, but okay. And I had my 64th birthday on Wednesday. What's with the clapping, folks? Come on, give me a break. All right? So anyway, I'm really psyched to be here at Mayes Oyster House. I actually drank here back in my single days a few times. I grew up in New England, talking about accents. I grew up in the Boston area. Back there, my name is Richard. I had to also adopt the anchorman voice when I moved here, so I am truly bi-accentual. Spent 13 years living in San Francisco. Ironically enough, here we are in Polk Street, Polk Gulch, a little different. And then I've been in San Jose with my wife and our daughter since 2008, but I still identify as a San Franciscan, and I think sometimes I feel like I'm trans-Franciscan. That's the worst joke in my set. So guys, bear with me here. I got married and had a child. I got married at 44, became a parent at 45, and people will look at me and say, Rich, man, that 45 is awful old to have a kid. And I'm like, it is, and that means I'm not allowed to retire. I'm not allowed to ever die. I will take a coma now and then, just as long as the catheter is not too small. But if we've learned anything from Trump and the Epstein files, you're never too old to have a child. Guess who I don't like? Okay? So are there any tall, I'm going to say tall guys married to short women, but are there any tall people here with short partners? If so, there you are, right? We need special license plates and parking spots. Okay, honest to God, my wife is 5'1". I never thought of her as a short person. My wife is, if short guys are called short kings, my wife is a short queen. No, she's a short goddess. She's amazing, she's an ass kicker. But I never realized she was a short person until she asked me to fix something at the sink while she was there. So I get down on my knees, and I'm literally, this is her head, and this is me. And I realized my wife goes through life looking like the love child of Danny DeVito and a samurai. And she is Japanese, so I can say samurai, right? Now, at that moment, I realized, man, the only reason that I'm in her life is she needs a tall guy to carry her stuff. And I also realized she's the only reason I'm not living in a cardboard box under an overpass. Because as Tony said, I've been in the acting business and I've known the ups and downs of that life. So when my wife says, carry my stuff, bitch. Can I carry her stuff? So, and it'll go back here. Now speaking of clams, they say that people who talk about sex the most generally get a deletion. So, I talk about sex a lot. Now, there's a medical study that says 45% of men who don't have sexual intercourse, or men who don't have sexual intercourse twice a week are 45% more likely to have heart attacks. And my wife's trying to kill me. Okay. A documentary recently came out that shows a female octopus literally throwing a stone, throwing rocks. Who's seen that? Yeah. Right? Throwing rocks at a male octopus that was pissing her off. My wife loves that documentary. And just recently in Utah, a woman who wrote a book on grief after her husband died was found guilty of killing the guy. My wife loves that book. So here we are, all right? A lot of comics come up when they talk about their ADD. Well, I'm here to talk about ADED, Attention Deficit Erectile Dysfunction Disorder. You see, I mix Cialis with my ADD meds for firm, focused directions. When I add the Ozempic, those erections get firm, focused, and very thin. I'm going to start a locksmith business. I'm going to call it Dick Pics. Right on. Thank you, guys. Now, I am not what you would call a political comic, but a year and a half after the election, a lot of women, probably lesbians, are still denying sex to their husbands because they voted for me. I'm not this. Now, I've turned a lot of women into lesbians. Subaru owes me a great deal of money. Somebody has got to tell my wife that I voted for Kamala Harris 5 times. San Francisco DA, California DA, U.S. Senate Vice President, and probably President again. My wife owes me sex from before we met. Now, as a guy of a certain age and a certain chunkiness, and I'm glad I'm married because I wouldn't want to be dating again, I really hate body shaming. Ladies, you don't need to be embarrassed about your fupas. Mediocre Caucasians like myself, aka Medcocks, we have fupas of our own, otherwise known as the fat upper penile area. I'm also wrestling with my HLCA or FLCA, fat lower chin area. Now, if you invite me to the cookout and I'm going commando, you got to watch out for my low scro or my low hanging scrotum. So we've talked about that, the dippage. So if I ever get Alzheimer's and start wandering off, the APB is going to be like this. Be on the lookout for an incontinent, corpulent, possibly flatulent Medcock with a flicker, and a low sack. Be careful. Approach with caution. He will fart. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to close this one real quick. Guys ever heard of the movie The Rock?
Yeah.
Thank you. Kenny. 30 years ago, I was Sean Connery's lighting double in that movie. And on those cold nights in Alcatraz, I used to wonder what it would be like if The Untouchables was not set in 1920s Chicago, but 1970s Polk Gulch in San Francisco. So imagine the disco beat thumping. You got the cocaine spoon nestled in the freshly shaved cleavage of a beautiful waitress, and you get 2 honest cops sitting at the bar, and one of them goes, "If you want to go after Capone, you got an act like Capone. He comes at you with a dildo, you come at him with a plunger." Okay? After he's made you suck the cocaine off that waitress's cock, you slip a Mickey into his Harvey Wallbanger. When he wakes up, he's in your dungeon and you're greeting him with your crotchless shaft. You say, "Swallow, tell me, are you one of Capone's men?" He says, "No," and you slap him across the face like this. And he goes, "Tell me what, Swallow, you acting like you're the governor. Are you with Capone or not?" And he goes, "No." And then you tug on his earlobes and you twiddle his nipple rings, and then you go, "Tell me again, are you one of Capone's men?" And he says, "No." And you put on your black latex glove, you cover it with Vaseline and Tabasco, and you say, "Get ready to meet the long arm of the law." And that's the San Francisco way. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Like you have experience.